Hare Krishna, this morning we will discuss Canto 1, Chapter 7, verses 44 till 58. We will read all the verses and then discuss the Arjuna's dilemma. So this is verse 44, and Draupadi will give arguments not to kill Ashvatham. That Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sahasya Sarahasyo Dano Veda Savisaropa Samyama Astraghama Sabhavata Siksito Yat Anugrahat. Translation. It was by Dronacharya's mercy that you have learned the military art of throwing arrows and the confidential art of controlling weapons. Now the purport. Dhanurveda, or military science, was taught by Dronacharya with all its confidential secrets of throwing and controlling Vedic hymns. Gross military science is dependent on material weapons, but finer than that is the art of throwing the arrows saturated with Vedic hymns, which act more effectively than gross material weapons like machine guns or atomic bombs. The control is by Vedic mantras, or the transcendental science of sound. It is said in the Ramayana that Maharaj Dasarath, the father of Shriram, used to control arrows by sound only. He could pierce his target with his arrows by only hearing the sound, without seeing the objects. So this is a finer military science than that of the gross military weapons used nowadays. Arjuna was taught all this, and therefore Draupadi wished that Arjuna feel obliged to Acharya Drona for all these benefits. And in the absence of Dronacharya, his son was his representative. That was the opinion of the good lady Draupadi. It may be argued why Dronacharya, a rigid Brahman, should be a teacher in military science, but the reply is that a Brahman should become a teacher, regardless of what his department of knowledge is. A learned Brahman should become a teacher, a priest, a recipient of charity. A bona fide Brahman is authorized to accept such professions. Chakshun militam yena tasmai yugurave nama. The Draupadi is saying to the Pandavas, to her husbands and Krishna, by Dronacharya's mercy you learned the military art. So you have a debt to your guru. Arjuna learned from him the confidential secrets of throwing and controlling by Vedic hymns. Prabhupada says this is a...
Maharaj?
Yes?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but may you tell us what is the duration of this class?
It will be more or less 1 hour.
Yes, and these classes happen every Wednesdays?
Every Wednesday, yes.
The same time?
Same time, yeah.
And is it that it includes at the end of the class questions and answers?
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much, Maharaj. Sorry again to interrupt you. Hare Krishna.
Sure. So Arjuna learned from him the confidential secrets of throwing and controlling Vedic hymns. It's a finer military science than that of the gross military weapons used today. Ashvatham was the representative of Dronacharya. So Draupadi will make that point. That You can't kill Ashvatthama as representative of your guru, Dronacharya. Now we continue text 45. Saisa Bharavandrona Prajarupena Vartate Dasyatmano Vidam Patni Yaste Nan Vagat Virasu Kripi. Dronacharya is certainly still existing, being represented by his son. His wife Kripi did not undergo a sati with him because she had a son. So the wife of Dronacharya, Kripi, is the sister of Kripacharya, a devoted wife who is, according to revealed scripture, the better half of her husband. Is justified in embracing voluntary death along with her husband if she is without issue. But in the case of the wife of Dronacharya, she did not undergo a trial because she had her son, the representative of her husband. A widow is a widow only in name if there is a son of her husband existing. So in either case, Ashvatthama was representative of Dronacharya, and therefore killing Ashvatthama would be like killing Dronacharya. That was the argument of Draupadi against the killing of Ashvatthama. So Draupadi is feeling the suffering of others. Because Kripi, she says, she did not undergo sati because of her son Ashvatthama. So killing Ashvatthama would be like killing Dronacharya. Text 46. O fortunate one, almost fortunate, one who knows the principles of religion is not good. It is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipful. Purport. A slight insult for a respectable family is sufficient to invoke grief. Therefore, a cultured man should always be careful in dealing with worshipful family members. So it's not good to cause grief to glorious, worshipful, and respectful family. So this is a culture of respect and compassion. 47. My lord, do not make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. I am grieved for the death of my sons. She need not cry constantly like me. So she is speaking here about Ashvatthama, who just killed her 5 sons. Now the purport. Sympathetic good lady as she was, Srimati Draupadi did not want to put the wife of Dronacharya in the same position of childlessness, both from the point of motherly feelings and from the respectful position held by the wife of Dronacharya. So she says, do not make Kripi cry like me. 48. If the kingly administrative order, being unrestricted in sense control, offends the Brahman order and enrages them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole family of the royal family and brings grief upon all. So if we offend the Brahman, then we will bring grief to the entire royal family. So do we think like this? Devotees are higher than Brahmins. The Brahmin order of society, or the spiritual advanced caste or community, and the members of such highly elevated families were always held in great esteem by the other subordinate castes, namely the administrative kingly order, the mercantile order, and the laborers. So if we offend a Brahmin, it will bring grief to the royal family. 49. Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami said to Brahmins, King Yudhishthir fully supported the statements of the queen, which were in accordance with the principles of religion and were justified, glorious, full of mercy and equity, and without duplicity. So purport, Maharaj Yudhishthir, who was the son of Dharmaraj or Yamaraj, fully supported the words of Queen Draupadi in asking Arjuna to release Ashvatthama. One should not tolerate the humiliation of a member of a great family. Arjuna and his family were indebted to the family of Dronacharya because Arjuna's learning the military science from him. If ingratitude were shown to such a benevolent family, it would not be at all justified from the moral standpoint. The wife of Dronacharya was the half body of the great soul, must be treated with compassion, and she should not be put into grief because of her son's death. That is compassion. Such statements by Draupadi are without duplicity because actions should be taken with full knowledge. The feeling of equality was there because Draupadi spoke out of her personal experience. A barren woman cannot understand the grief of a mother. Draupadi was herself a mother, and therefore her calculation of the depth of Kripa's grief was quite to the point. And it was glorious because she wanted to show proper respect to a great family. So King Yudhishthir supported the statement of the queen because they were according to the principles of religion. The moral standpoint is, if ingratitude were shown to such a benevolent family, it would not be justified. And Draupadi, she's a mother, so she said a barren mother cannot understand the grief of a mother. So now, what about the other Pandavas? Nakula and Sadev, the younger brothers of the king, and also Satyaki, Arjuna, the personality of God, at Lord Sri Krishna, son of Devaki, and the ladies and others all unanimously agreed with the king that, but 41. Bhima, however, disagreed with them. He recommended killing this culprit who in an angry mood had murdered sleeping children for no purpose and for neither his nor his master's interest. So Bhima disagreed. He killed for no purpose, he said. It was not in his interest, nor in the interest of his master. 52. Satyabhuj, the four-armed, or the personality of God, that after hearing the words of Bhima, Draupadi and others saw the face of his dear friend Arjuna and began to speak as if smiling. So, purport. Lord Sri Krishna had two arms, and why is he designated as four-armed? That is explained by Sridhar Swami. Both Bhima and Draupadi held opposite views about killing Ashvatthama. Bhima wanted him to be immediately killed, whereas Draupadi wanted to save him. We can imagine Bhima ready to kill while Draupadi is obstructing him. And in order to prevent both of them, the Lord discovered another two arms. Originally, the primeval Lord, Sri Krishna, displays only two arms, but in his Narayan feature, he exhibits four. In his Narayan feature, he resides with his devotees in the Vaikuntha planets, while in his original Sri Krishna feature, he resides in the Krishna Loka planet, far, far above the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. Therefore, if Sri Krishna is called Satyabhuj, there is no contradiction. If need, moment, something comes here. If need, he can display hundreds of arms as exhibited in his Vishvarup shown to Arjuna. Therefore, one who can display hundreds and thousands of arms can also manifest four whenever needed. When Arjuna was perplexed about what to do with Ashvatam, Dosi Krishna, as a very dear friend of Arjuna, voluntarily took up the matter just to make a solution, and he was smiling also that time. So Krishna showed four arms, two arms to keep Bhima at bay and the other for consoling or comforting Draupadi. Text 53, 54. The personality of Godhead said, Sri Krishna said, a friend of a Brahmin is not to be killed, but if he is an aggressor, he must be killed. All these rulings are in the scriptures, and you should act accordingly. You have to fulfill your promise to your wife, and you must also act to the satisfaction of Bhimashen and me. That purport. Arjuna was perplexed because Ashvatam was to be killed as well as spared according to the different scriptures cited by different persons. As a Brahmabandhu, or a worthless son of a Brahmin, Ashvatam was not to be killed, but he was at the same time an aggressor also, and according to the rulings of Manu, an aggressor even though he be a Brahmin. And what to speak of an unworthy son of a Brahmin is to be killed. Dronacharya was certainly a Brahmin in the true sense of the term, but because he stood in the battlefield, he was killed. But although Ashvatam was an aggressor, he stood without any fighting weapons. The ruling is that an aggressor, when he is without weapon or chariot, cannot be killed. All these were certainly perplexities. Besides that, Arjuna had to keep the promise he made before Draupadi, just to pacify her. And he also had to satisfy both Bhima and Krishna, who advised killing him. This dilemma was present before Arjuna, and the solution was awarded by Krishna. So Arjuna is confronted with a dilemma here. A friend of a Brahmin is not to be killed, but an aggressor must be killed. And different scriptures say different things. And Krishna says you must fulfill your promise to your wife and also act for the satisfaction of Bhimashen and me. So you should kill him and not kill him. What is it? That's a difficult situation. But of course, there are the rulings of Manu. The ruling is also that an aggressor, when he's without weapon or chariot, he cannot be killed. That's also there. So the dilemma was present, and the solution was awarded by Krishna. Let's see. In the next verse, Arjuna will pass this test. Just then Arjuna could understand the motive of the Lord by his equivocal orders, and thus with his sword he severed both hair and jewel from the head of Ashvatam. So Arjuna passed the test. Purport. Contradictory orders of different persons are impossible to carry out. Therefore, a compromise was selected by Arjuna by sharp intelligence, and he separated the jewel from the head of Ashvatam. This was as good as cutting off his head, and yet his life was saved for all practical purposes. Here Ashvatam is indicated as twice born. Certainly he was twice born, but he fell down from his position, and therefore he was properly punished. So contradictory orders are impossible to carry out. But his action was as good as cutting off his head. Ashvatam fell down from his position, and was thus properly punished. Now text 56. He, Ashvatam, had already lost his bodily luster due to infanticide, and now, moreover, having lost a jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. Thus he was unbound and driven out of the camp. Thus being insulted, the humiliated Ashvatam was simultaneously killed and not killed by the intelligence of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Cutting the hair from his head, depriving him from his wealth, and driving him from his residence are the prescribed punishment for the relative of a Brahmin. There is no injunction for killing the body. 58. Thereafter, the sons of Pani and Draupadi, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. Sakshamilitam yena tasmai shigave namah. Shitchaitanya manopistam staptam yena bhutale svamabhakadamyam dadati svapadantikam. Vandeham shiyoda padakamalam shigam vaishnavam sam. Shirupam jagadatam saganaragnatam vitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadutam paritana saitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagalita Shivshakam Vitam Sahe Krishna Karuna Sundadina Bandha Jyatpate Gopesha Gopra Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste. Tapta Kansna Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhani Sutadevi Pranamana Haripriya. Pancha Kalptu Vishakri Pasan Vivisa Padnam Pavan Vyo Vaishan Vyanam. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Jyadvaita Radha Shiva Sadhika Bhakta Vinay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthana Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani. Nirvasisya Nivadi Paskachari Dasataram. What we see here is the situation of Arjuna. It's a daily practical affair for every leader. They say you cannot satisfy everyone. There are always different opinions. The perplexity is described, that is described here is an acute one. It's a question of life and death. It is unavoidable for a leader to make these decisions. And there's a lot at stake. One way may say, take it democratic, follow the majority of the people. And there was a clear majority, but this is not always the right solution. Often it's not. So Bhima was a practical one. He said, if you don't kill him, he will do it again. And we will see, he will, because he's driven out of the camp, but what he's going to do? He will throw a Brahmastra again to kill the embryo of Maharaj Pariksit in the womb of Uttara. He will do it again. But Bhima was the minority, but he was also right. Another option we can take is sometimes we may opt not. I'm not going to take any decision. Let me abstain. This is usually a so-called easy way out, but it's not a solution. You will still be responsible as a leader for your inaction. So Draupadi here addressed Bhima when she was, Draupadi, she addressed Bhishmadev when she was going to be disrobed by the Kurus. And she said to Bhishmadev, how is it that you are not taking action? They are going to disrobe me. And Bhishmadev said, I don't know. The laws of Dharma are very subtle and I cannot understand them. Yes. But Bhishmadev was basically killed by his indecision. Another logic we can say, you cannot never please everyone, so let me do something which be pleasing to me or pleasing to Krishna. But Krishna says to Arjuna, you must please everyone. And Krishna is smiling, always smiling. So it's a very difficult decision you have to make. So what's the right decision to make? There is another option. I'm doing research in the scriptures. One scripture say you have to kill, and another say you don't have to kill. So it's also not a solution. So the only right solution is Hare Hardam, to know the heart of Hari. To know within your heart what is in the heart of Krishna. But this is a difficult solution. But there is no other solution. Most difficult decisions are related to the heart of people. Sometimes there's a decision, kill people. Lives of people depend on our decision. It will affect the life of a particular person. Sometimes one misbehaved. We see that in our movement. Sometimes devotees are misbehaving, but then they have earned a lot of credits for their service, immense. But to search for the solution in our heart means in the heart of Krishna. Krishna is in our heart. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness means following the dictation of Krishna within. But to search in our heart must be clean. If your heart is not clean, if there is lust, anger, greed, avarice, and all these things, being puffed up, and so on, you will find this dirt, not Krishna. If we will find the dirty things in our heart, that's all. Like we seen another situation is in the Mahabharata. So we know that after the Pandavas escaped from the House of Flag burned, and the ghosts were thinking the 5 Pandavas are dead. But still they were traveling incognito after they escaped. That's a whole story in the Mahabharata. But at a certain moment, King Draupadi organized a great contest to hit a target with a ball that And the Pandavas went there incognito. So the winner of the contest would get the hand of Draupadi, the daughter of King Drupada. And that King Drupada organized this contest. And the whole story is there in the Pandavas were dressed as Brahmins, but Arjuna finally won the contest. And so they won the hand of Draupadi. But then when they came home, the Pandavas, and they told Kundi, yes, we have got a wonderful, a wonderful prize, gained a prize in that contest. And Kunti immediately said, you share it with the 5 of you. But then the Arjun said, but we gained Draupadi as our she was the prize that so Draupadi was and Queen Kunti was thinking, what did I say? That share it between you, and what now? And she said to Maharaj, you please protect my words, that they are always truthful. So then they went to King Drupada and explained him, yes, our mother has said that Draupadi should marry all of us, all 5. And but King Drupada said, how is this possible? You think my daughter is a prostitute? Marrying 5 men? Is this according to Shastra? Is this something? And then Yudhishthira Maharaj said to King Drupada, I never in my life said something untruth. Of course, he's Dharmaraj. So his logic was, my heart tells me the truth. Of course, he's Dharmaraj personified, his heart was pure. But our hearts, they are not pure. It will bring us in trouble, that's all. But when our hearts are clean, then automatically our decision will be according to Krishna's desire. So therefore we must work on cleaning our heart and pray to Krishna to give us the right intelligence. How does he give intelligence? Tesham sattata yuktanam vachtam pitavurkam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. If you serve me with a little love, then dadami, I give you buddhi yoga, knowledge from within. Tesham evanakampurtam ammakyana chamtama nasachama bhavat bhashvata kanati penabhashvata. That Tesham evanakampurtam ammakyana chamtama nasachama bhavashvata kanati penabhashvata. With the lamp of knowledge, I remove all the dirt from the heart, all the impurities, and give you transcendental knowledge. So we must be working on cleaning our heart and pray to Krishna, give us the right intelligence. Dadami buddhiyontam. So Krishna gives a condition, however. You must constantly engage in the service of Krishna. Constantly. Always means always trying to always trying to be connected with Krishna in the heart. So the solution Arjuna got was awarded by Krishna. That so the any mistake of a leader can affect the lives of many. But if we take these responsible positions, we need to become Krishna conscious ourselves. That's very important. That so this is the message of this section, which is a lot of arguments, intelligent arguments has been given against killing Ashwatthama and not killing him. But we see our Arjuna as a perfect leader took the right decision because he was a pure servant of Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada stresses many times, why was King Yudhishthira put on the throne? Because King Yudhishthira, after the battle was over, he was saying that was 640 million warriors have been killed just to bring me on the throne. That I should go to hell for it. And that and nobody could pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj, but Krishna brought him. Also, Krishna could not, but he brought him before Bhishma Dev, and Bhishma Dev instructed him. Instructed him on how to rule the kingdom, but he said to Yudhishthira Maharaj that this is all the plan of Krishna. Krishna wanted this as such, because Krishna wants a Mahabhagavat on the throne. One who is a pure devotee, with a pure heart. And only the Mahabhagavat can take that position. Otherwise, there will be great upheaval if this position is taken by someone who is not pure in heart. So, any comments, questions, please?
Maharaj, I have a question.
Yes, sure.
May I?
Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj. In the purport to text 46, the quote goes as follows. Quote, it is the last sentence of the purport. Quote, therefore, a cultured man should always be careful in dealing with worshipful family members, unquote. So based on this quote, my question is, careful in what sense, in what way? What is it that we should be doing while dealing with them, and what is it that we should avoid doing in order to avoid hurting them and putting them in grief? That is my question, Maharaj.
Yeah, that was the purpose of my entire lecture. That we can only be beneficial for others when we are pure in heart. That or when we act the instructions of those pure in heart. But we see here, this is a different culture than today's culture. There was great respect for the Brahmins. That because the Brahmins are very dear to Krishna. And we see here the thoughts are going further. if you look at these devotees, they are not just thinking about what Ashvatam did, but they are thinking about when I'm going to killing him or not was the question. They were thinking at the consequences of their actions. That first, we will displease Dronacharya. You may say Dronacharya is dead, yes. But no, Dronacharya is the spiritual master, the guru. And displeasing him means displeasing Krishna. And it will bring great unfortunate, it will bring a great unfortunate situation. That's the first thing they're thinking about. The second thing is this, the wife of Dronacharya Kripi. If I kill this Brahman, then, or friend of a Brahman, then the wife of Dronacharya is punished because she will suffer a lot. So that's a devotee. He thinks about, devotee is called paradukha dukhi. He feels the suffering of others. He thinks further than that. And also the reputation of the family of Dronacharya will go down. So many aspects which are all to do with culture. A culture of respect. And that is spiritual culture. A culture of respect. Normally, in this world, if your heart is impure, if Draupadi's heart was impure, and one has killed your sons, she would immediately say, kill him. But there were other arguments that she was not overwhelmed. Her intelligence was not overwhelmed by anger, by feelings of retaliation. That's exceptional. Actually, nobody can do that in this world, but because she was a pure devotee, she could do it. She could see it. Not to act according to our attachment, but acting according to the culture. This culture of respect makes us advance in devotional service. Because we chant the holy name of Krishna, but we are lacking this culture of respect. We make offenses constantly. There are 10 offenses to be avoided in the matter of chanting the holy name. First is to blaspheme devotees who dedicate their lives for preaching the holy name. It's very similar to the situation we have seen. If that respect is not there, that for devotees or for Brahmins, that we make offenses, that we should be very respectful to other devotees. Or that another offense is not following the instruction of the spiritual master. What is the instruction of the spiritual master? Instruction of the spiritual master is he's a representative of Krishna. He gives the same instructions as Krishna, but in a more practical sense, maybe, but they are the same instructions. So if we are not following the instructions of the spiritual masters, and we do what we want and think what we think is good, that is offensive. everything we do, if we become a disciple, means thinking, what would my spiritual master want me to do? And that's the same as what would Krishna want me to do. Because the spiritual master is only a representative of Krishna. If the spiritual master says something different, and yes, that is not a bona fide spiritual master. And then respect against the holy, disrespecting the holy name, thinking it's imagination, the name of Krishna, but it's Krishna and his holy name are not different. Chanting Krishna's names purifies us, but we should not take advantage of that. So these are all culture of respect. Without that culture of respect, we make offenses, and we cannot advance spiritually. So this lessons of today, it's not about mundane logic or mundane intelligence. It's about spiritual culture. Therefore, it's important to learn this culture. And we are in the first canto of the Bhagavatam. And there we get an introduction to these pure devotees and how they deal with difficult situations according to spiritual culture. And that's so many lessons to learn. And these are a few points that I could make on your question.
Yes, Maharaj, if I may say it as to be expected, most helpful answer to my question, and at the same time, most beautiful answer to my question. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Try my best. Anything else?
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for a wonderful question and answer, as well as the lecture. We always look forward for your class every week. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
So Maharaj, many times in the management, we wanted to spend time to fix the problem or correct things. So the question related to this particular class is, should we spend more time in developing a skill which will help us for management, or in other ways, how to balance that purifying ourselves versus developing the skills which will help us for management?
And that's developing skills is very useful. That's very useful in management. That's good. But at the same time, we must give some time to depend on Krishna. So before we take a decision, I pray to Krishna for his guidance. And sometimes it's good, unless it's a very urgent thing, to leave a little time on it. Give time for Krishna to give us guidance. And I see that many times also. Every one of us has to take decisions, not only leaders. We have also to take decisions in our own lives every day. But don't act too quick. Pray to Krishna. And you will see, yes, one day you think in that way, and then the next day you think about the consequences of the actions that you want to make. that and then finally you conclude, no, it's not the right thing to do. That so give it a bit time and consider things deeply. Consult with others who are senior to you, if required. That but it's good to leave some time so that we see here that we learn today. It's not just, Ashwadam did kill his sons, just kill him. No, there is a reasoning and there is and contemplation on the consequences of the actions you are going to make. That because sometimes you may have to correct the devotee, but correcting him because he has too much false ego may give him difficulty to stay on the path of devotional service, for example. That so we have to be careful, very, very careful. It is not a blessing to be a leader in this movement. That it is a great responsibility, and we will make errors. But there's also Krishna's plan so that we can learn, and our decision making will become better by the experience we get. That we will understand the errors that we made. So it's also a way of learning and coming closer to Krishna. It's a great opportunity, but not always pleasant. Does that help?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Okay. Good. Then I'm looking forward to see you all next week, if Krishna willing. Hare Krishna. Jai
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Jai-
Maharaj.
Hare
Jai
Lord.
Prabhupada.